this number of stalkers and other gateway units. And I really think if he had more sentries and zealots, that would probably be a stronger combination. And there was a bit of a drop going down. Not really going to be able to do much though, just as it's getting repelled there. This observer still checking out exactly what PainUser is doing with his army. But now that we have PainUser with his gold mineral expansion down, you can check the income again, and yeah, PainUser now, his income is just ridiculous. He's probably peaking at almost 3,000 at the high points there. So he is actually starting to level out in harvesters now that they all have the same number of expansions now as well. Let's see here, I'm going to be fast forwarding this game again just because it is a longer game, and looking at the units lost right now. So let's see here. PainUser does have a bit of an advantage in the units lost now because I think he took out more of those gateway units that were just, more mineral intensive than this really resource effective army down here. So once again going for another drop accompanied with a Banshee actually. So let's check out. And PainUser throwing down this forward sensor tower at the Xel'Naga watchtower. This is really going to allow him to be able to just look and see basically, oh wow, what are these guys doing here? They just got obliterated. This drop though is going to be able to take out this this pylon, but probably not do a whole lot more because Nazgul just brought his whole entire freaking army up here. And oh man, it took out the drop. So that drop definitely not worth it, and that units lost just shot right back up, and now they're actually tied just because that drop was completely shut down and dismantled by Liquid Nazgul and his Blink Stalkers. So once again we do see Liquid Nazgul bringing out the Blink Stalker tech in his game, which is an interesting combo. You don't usually see Blink Stalker tech with a whole lot of higher tech units, but we'll see if, well, I guess we'll eventually see if he can make it work, as this is really a pretty crazy macro intensive game. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up here a bit more. Both of these guys are actually, if we look at the army sizes, they're both really close to capped. PainUser is actually just a little bit behind in supply. He's down about 180, while Liquid Nazgul, with all of these Colossus, which are really mineral, actually supply intensive. Oh, that Colossus kind of getting shot at a bit there from the missile turret. And these Colossus and the Blink Stalkers, oh, this is actually, against Zerg especially, this is a really potent combination. And these guys are just going to be able to come in here, and these Thors are so slow, it takes them so long to get up here. So PainUser is losing a lot of production ability right now. But he does have these Banshees on the field, which do a crazy amount of damage to all these ground units when they're not being shot down. They are really fragile, so that uncloaked one, he probably should have been cloaked. That one's going to get taken out, but the combination of these Banshees and all these Vikings just shooting the crap out of all these Colossus is going to totally take down all the Colossus. So that attack did take down a couple production buildings and a couple tech buildings, but it was finally repelled by the combination of these air forces. So meanwhile, PainUser doing another drop, but it looks like this is going to get shut down by these Warpin Zealots, and going to lose that as well. So if we look at the units lost now, yeah, PainUser is once again in a bit of an advantage, and we can see that both of them now have created a split down the middle of this map with all of the expansions being taken. If we look at the income now, they're both still about even. They're about at the right number of harvesters for for their races and how many. PainUser could definitely use some more mineral saturation here, but other than that, income for the most part is pretty much even. And this is really starting to go into the late game now. We have Archons and High Templar coming out, and both players just re-macroing their army basically as fast as they can. So if we look at the production, oh man, that production tab is ridiculous. They're just, both players are just getting their late game tech upgrades, as many of them as possible, because, so if we look at the spending, yeah, it's about even. That doesn't really give us a whole lot of info. That's really not an incredibly useful tab right there. But anyway, Liquid Nazgul is now pushing down here with more Colossus and more Stalkers. Going to be able to blink up here as soon as those Colossus have vision of the high ground, which is right there. And now if we look at the army, Liquid Nazgul definitely has the army advantage here, but I think that these air units are really good combat. They're just a great counter to Liquid Nazgul's army here. And then he's also got the Thors, which do great damage against all these except really the Immortals. The Thors are not very good against Immortals. But, oh wow. Yeah, okay. PainUser just got completely wiped out there. Not looking too good for PainUser right now. He is, he's lost pretty much his whole entire army. He's got these 3 Thors now, and oh man, these Banshees though, I didn't even know. I'm sorry you guys, these Banshees were just going crazy damage because Nazgul's, I guess, like, so Nazgul didn't notice, just like I didn't notice, because Liquid Nazgul just doesn't have the observer with doesn't have an observer with his army, which late game you really need to have those observers for your army, because these Banshees just completely wiped clean the rest of that Nazgul's army. So each of those, this one's getting one of them had 6 kills right there, so definitely getting some rank ups right there. So once again, that really tipped the unit's loss scale back in the favor of PainUser here. And once again, checking out. Oh man, now let's see here. He's actually getting gravitic boosters. What's that? Increases the movement speed of observers. Yeah, he realizes that he really needs that detection for all those Banshees now that he finally realizes that those are out on the field in such a great number. He actually has 8 Banshees out, and adding to that even more. So that's definitely a ridiculously powerful force. I mean, that Banshees just annihilate things on the ground, and that is all Nazgul is using right now. So yeah, these Banshees, if they can stay cloaked and undetected, then they are just ridiculously powerful. And yeah, once again, just adding more and more Banshees. He's really banking on these Banshees to help him win this game. And if we look at the units tab now, it's actually starting to look like, oh wow, yeah. What has he been doing? Liquid Nazgul just really hasn't been getting the forces that he needs when PainUser's now pushing in with all these forces. If we look at the income, both of the incomes are starting to level out back down to just their normal expansion type of, normal income levels instead of, crazy, ridiculous high mineral field income. But these Banshees, oh, those side storms on those Banshees were just ridiculous. Oh man, those are doing a crap ton of damage, but only one of the Banshees has actually died so far. So these Banshees are just doing all sorts of damage. Oh, now the Banshees are finally going down like crazy left and right. Only one Banshee. All the Banshees are now gone, but these Thors are going to be so durable against against these Zealots. Yeah, he really needs, Nazgul really needs Immortals to be able to deal with these, and either Immortals or just a crap ton of Zealots, and he really just does not have the numbers for it. He's trying to bank up the number of, using a Psy Storm on the Thors, which is an interesting technique because Psy Storm is really quite inconsequential against Thors just because they have so many hit points, 400 hit points total. So now Nazgul is going to be coming over here with the Zealots to try to defend this expansion, and let's see if he can. Yeah, he's really not going to be able to do it. Takes out one of the Thors, and once again still side-storming those Thors. All that Vespene gas that Nazgul has been spending on those High Templar really could have been used for much better things. He still has all the production facilities. These production facilities have not been touched. So I guess he's just looking for places to dump all that Vespene, but that's just not the right place against these Thors. So now PainUser is definitely in a comfortable position. he actually has more workers for the first time in this game. He has more workers than Liquid Nazgul. I am losing my voice. Dang, this is a long game. So, let's see here. I need to drink some water, actually. 1 second. Excuse me, guys. Alright, and that Pop-Tart is still just staring me in the face. It wants me to eat it so much. But yeah, Liquid Nazgul now realizes that these Thors are just unstoppable for what he has. Any Vikings to take care of, any Colossus that might still be remaining. So, kind of an anticlimactic finish there to that really heavy macro game. So, PainUser came out ahead. He was not looking too good with those when Nazgul had all of those Colossus and Stalkers out, which was an incredible combination, especially in this encounter up here. He was able to take out so much of the original base that PainUser was not looking to be in a very good position, but PainUser just coming out with exactly the right combination of units that he needs. And PainUser, I think, is pretty well known for getting, you know, a huge variety of Terran units, and Terrans definitely have that ability to produce from all of their production facilities and, you know, make something effective against basically any build. So PainUser definitely taking advantage of that, doing a great job coming back in the second half of this game and taking the second game. So that's going to be one game for each Liquid Nazgul and PainUser. So we'll be moving on to the third game. This has been StarcraftCove. Thanks again for watching. Feel free to give it the thumbs up, give it a comment, subscribe, whatever. I appreciate all of it. So, see you in the third game.